afternoon. How do you feel today? So, smartphones down, please. And for laptops, don't get anything else other than Blackboard. So today we will be talking about business ownership. The types of companies, types of if you want to own a business, how's that organized? So, who wants to own a business someday? Yeah, that's one benefit of being in the United States. You can own the business. So, it comes to just one simple goal. We need to understand the various types of business ownerships. And we will evaluate multiple types depending on their business goal, their cost of formation, their startup and future capital, how do they tax them, tax considerations, and the liability for you as an individual and for the company or the ownership, and how do you control it. So in the business organization, we have mainly three types. The first one is the proprietorship, which is the sole proprietor. Say it for me. Proprietorship. Yeah. And it's owned by just one individual. So we'll talk about that later on. Partnerships. Multiple individuals, they have company, and corporations, which is a legal entity with separate tax number, separate, they can be sued as the entity itself. Let's start with the first. Let's look at how they are organized. I just wanted to put this in one slide so that you look at it and you kind of visualize the difference. So the first one, the proprietorship. You can't imagine how many times I practiced, but it just So you have just one owner, and the third parties, he deals with them. So let's imagine that chance here. Our friend, he goes and he owns a car repair shop. So it's just him. He's liable. He does the work. He might hire some workers, but he manages everything. In the second type, the partnership, you have multiple people. So two or more people, they own the business together. And in the corporation, you have multiple partners. They form a corporation, and then that corporation must have like a board of director and like all of that, and they manage it through like the board of directors, the partners themselves. And they talk to the different parties. So let's look at the different types of the business ownership forms. We have the first one, which is the sole, the individual one. Then the partnerships, we have two types: general partnership and limited partnership, and we should know the differences between those two. And we have a corporation. We have three types that I like. There are more than three types, but I want you to focus on those three types after the end of this lecture, as they are more important to our industry, the construction industry. We have the limited liability company, the private corporation, and the S corporation. And we should know also the differences between those three. And we have the joint ventures, something that is very important for us, especially if we are doing like design build. If we are doing something that is out, like you are in a construction company, you want to do something that is out of your expertise. So you look for a partner, someone who has that expertise. Let's start with the first one. And let's take this example. I took this example from Professor Sandeep. He used to use it for this class. And so let's imagine for the first one that I want to open a business. Me, I have some money. I'll take that money and go and buy donut dip. I'll start operating that, the store. I'll be sitting behind the cashier. I'll have some employees. I will hire people to work for me. But I am responsible for everything. I am the owner, the one who runs everything, the one who files taxes and all that. So first of all, look at this slide. This is a bad example for doing your slides for the presentations. Don't do your slides like this. One thing, yeah. What's wrong with this slide? Yeah, let's take a break from business ownership. What's wrong with this slide? I don't want to read it. That's a lot, right? Yep. You have lots of text. Like, rule of thumb: never have more than 4 lines. Yes, just 4 lines. That's it in one slide. No one can actually keep track of it. Like, look at you guys. You can't actually read all of that. But I tried, and this I want to end with 70 slides for this class. So first of all, it's owned by a single person. Let's go back to the class. Owned by one person. Second of all, it's easy, it's inexpensive. You got some money, you can open your business. Maybe Malone here is good with cars and he wants to open his repair shop. He goes, he has some money, he just goes and opens that business. If you want to make a decision, are you going to ask anyone else? It will be your shop, your money, your decision. Okay, I want to make it here. I want to open it here. I want to close on Sundays. I want to close on Saturdays and Sundays. It's no one's business. It's my business. Minimal paperwork required. Just go do the licensing and register it in the city, and that's it. You don't need to go to a lawyer to do, some type of contracts, agreements, all of that. You make the regulations, you make the rules, and it comes, however, on the other part, it comes with high risk for you as the owner. If your shop lost, it comes back to you. You're the one who's losing money. If you go to a lender and you took some money from that lender, and at the end of the day, like, you lost everything, he will come and take your business, and he will go and take any private property that you own, because it's in your name. Okay. Look at this slide and tell me so why do people don't go and make, if you have a bigger company, you don't go and make just the sole proprietorship on it? I have maybe three points here. First of all, the first one. You can explain the first one.
They can't get the money to start the company.
It's hard to make that money. It's really hard. It's just you, your bank account, and your private property. You can't actually. It's really hard to generate that fund. What do you think, Deshaun? Second one.
The bigger your company is, the more people you have to pay, therefore the more money you have to make, and just the more money you have, the more taxes you have to pay.
Well, you can save from that taxes though. It's different from other parts. We will see some parts of ownership where you have to pay tax twice on your stuff. But in this one, you can save from the tax. Yeah, chance.
Too much liability.
Too much liability. This is the main issue here. The liability, because anything that happens to your business, it affects you. You can end up, losing all your stuff and going to jail because of that. And so that's why. So because I failed in my business, I started to look for funding. And one way to look for funding, I looked for more money, and I looked for partners. So I came up with this new idea in my donut shop. I thought, well, if you cut the pineapple, it will be, a donut shape. So let's try something new. I have no idea about how to start a pineapple business or how. So I came to my friend here, Deshaun. I told him, hey man, listen, it is, we can combine your expertise in pineapples and my expertise in donuts, although we both we have no expertise, and I convinced him to be a partner with me. And then we came to our friend Tyler in the back, and we said to him, listen man, you are, you're wealthy. You have so much money and we need some equipment. So can you be a partner with us? And one way or another, we convinced him to be a partner with us. And we made a general partnership. So in that general partnership, we are all co-owners. And in a general partnership, you need to have more than one person as a co-owner. We are all co-owners. Some of us, like me, I had, we go to the previous slide, I had the place. It's an asset. It's a facility that I provide for the partnership. Deshaun here, he has the pineapples. Every day he brings his pineapple. And Tyler there, he has, funding and money, and we can buy stuff. We can buy also equipment. So not everyone needs to participate in the same way. Not everyone should provide assets like money. Some can provide a facility, some can provide equipment, credits, and all of that. So the value of Donut now has increased because you have partners, you have more things into it, you have more assets. And so at the beginning of our agreement, we all sat on the same table, and I told him, well, I have the building and the facility itself, so I own 50%. And since Tyler, he will provide the equipment and the money, he owns 30%, and just 20% for Deshaun, for the pineapples. And we agreed on that. If we made profits, how should we distribute those profits? Okay, if we agree on it. If we made $1 million in profit, and I own 50%, Deshaun 20, and Tyler 30. How should those profits be distributed on us? Yeah, proportional. So I get 50% of the 1 million. I won't be teaching you if I have that money to spend. Anyway, and Deshaun will get 20%, and then Tyler will get 30% out of it. The same scenario will happen if we lose that money. So I will lose the most. Deshaun will lose the least. So, do you understand that concept? So, by law, a partnership is a separate entity than a partner. So you have less liability than being a sole owner. However, if something happens to the business or loss or something, it can come back to your private, let's say, like house or private account, bank account or whatever. The other thing that I want you to know here is us as general partnerships, general partners, we all act as a general agent. Who knows what this general agent term means?
I'll try to comfort you.
You know, general agent. So let's say that you are out of state. You're not here, and your family lives in Seattle, for example, and they want, like, you wanted them to buy you like a house or something. So you go like to your dad and you ask him to be your general agent so that he can go and buy and sell, do whatever in your name. You go, you sign that paper. It's called like a general agent paper. You'll link your dad with this, you know, this is their social security, this is his name, and I elect him to act in my name. So in the case of a partnership, a general partnership, each owner or co-owner can go and act in the name of the whole company or the whole business. So if that owner wanted to, you know, enter, let's say, like a bad business deal, and he entered it, like, all the co-owners are liable to his mistake or his doing. One other thing that we need to know is, you know, if you have a general partnership, you know, it can have like a name, and it can be sued, and it can sue in the name of that company, and all the partners will share, you know, the liability on that. So whenever you do like a partnership, you need to pay attention to what's written in the contract, because it can limit your liability, it can increase it. It's all in the contract. How can we dissolve the partnership? So me, Deshaun, and Tyler, we all sat together and we said, well, man, they told me that, man, you know nothing about donuts, so it's not working. And I told Deshaun, like, man, I saw you one time with that pineapple, and I thought that you understand nothing. You know nothing about it. You don't even know how to deal with it. So, and Tyler there, he was pissed off. He was the most one. Like, I provided the money, I provided the equipment, and you guys, you know nothing about what you're doing. So we wanted to, you know, just dissolve it. Okay, so each one of us should pay his share and leave. So usually when you write the contract for the partnership, so you need to write it in case of dissolving the company, what happens. So you go back to that contract and you look at it. What if, like, I said, no, I'm not gonna, you know, dissolve. I'm really happy that you guys are sharing with me, and I'm not gonna dissolve. Can they make me dissolve? Just in top of your head. Can they? Yeah, they can. I don't want. You can sue that person. Just take your funds. So since we dissolved, so I went to other people to work with. So I went to Austin and Aaron and Kristen. Just raise your hands. Where is Erin? All right, we have the first absentee. He's lucky, I know. Okay, so I convinced him to, I said, well, pineapples, they don't really work. Let's find someone who can give me, milk and produce and all of that. And someone who can give me more equipment and more money. He's not here, so. And then we noticed that we need more money, but we don't want someone to share us with the management. We went to Kristen there, and we know that she's wealthy. She is. I think Austin knows. Like, he came to me and he was like, "Well, I went with her to the bank, and I know her bank account is full. You can't take that money." But he told me at the same time that she's not really interested in sharing any of the management responsibilities or liabilities. She will just go and give us the money, and we can give her some profits. And I was like, well, okay, that sounds good. If someone is willing to invest in this losing company,
Would that kind of be like the Shark Tank people?
the what?
The Shark Tank people?
No, I don't think so. No, not the Shark. Like, you mean the TV show? No. Those are sharks. Kristen here is a lamb, so that's what's happening. So the difference then, so a limited partner is different than the general partner. Is that they're just participating with money or profit. That's it. And they are liable to the extent of the investment. So who knows what does that mean? Like, except like there are two exceptions. I'll ask about those two exceptions. So if something bad happened to that partnership, they're not liable. It's not their fault. They're not participating in the management. However, they can be liable. Those are the two exceptions. Okay. So who skimmed it through the chapter? Okay. Can you tell me how, Dylan? Can you tell me what are the exceptions? How they, if a limited partner was a limited partner and something bad happened to them, how we can hold him liable to that company? Contract. First of all, a contract. So his contract is a limited partner. However, if he participated actively in the management of the company, okay, you are a limited partner, you can manage the company. You will just sit on the side and wait for your profits or your losses at the end of the day. But you don't go and so Kristen can't come to the donut shop and tell us, well, you're doing it wrong. And I was sitting here and counting, and you're not putting the flour right. You're not frying it right. She can't do that. This is the first thing. They can't manage the company actively. The second one, who can tell me the second one? They can't have their name in the company's name. So we can't put it like Donut Dip owned by Firas, Erin, and Austin and Kristen. No. I don't know, some people would put the owner's name, like maybe Firas and Sons or whatever. So you can't put it in that. So why do you usually go and look for a limited partner? I just said it. For what? Why do we go and look for a limited partner? Resources. We need some resources. We need some money. Just something to risk that business. Yeah. I'm sorry, this material is so dry, but you know, it's something that we need to give. I promise next time I will try to mix it a little bit, but it is dry. What?
I said maybe you can throw some pictures in there.
Yeah, you try looking for a picture for a limited partnerships. It's harder than you think. All right, this is an interesting question. So, if we came to Kristen at the beginning and we told her like, well, we want you to be a limited partner or just to lend us some money, just give us some money as a loan and we'll pay it back. So, I want each one of you to think about this. If we approached you and we asked you to lend us money or to be a limited partner, what do you choose and why?
It depends on the market at the time. If you're a limited partner, you have a chance to make more money.
You can't lose the money.
Right?
No,
As a partner, you can.
No, we all make some profits.
I'd rather be like actually have a partner, because if you've already went tits up one time, then obviously you don't know how to manage something. Right? So I want to be in there and be able to come in there and be like, look, dude.
So we have this
So dumb.
Chelsea wants to be the lender. Who wants to be a limited partner? You'll be what?
Well, you've already learned from your mistakes, hopefully.
For me?
It looks like you got a better plan.
No, I don't think so. I'm more stupid than you think.
Okay, never mind. You're not proud of yourself. I'm out.
Okay, so let's look at it. Like, what are the pros and cons of being a lender versus being a limited partner?
I mean, the pros of being a lender is you can actually step in and help out, and whenever you need something, actually, hey, look, man, you're making this terribly.
Well,
But at the same time, you're like dealing drugs out of the bag.
as a lender, you don't have the authority to, participate actively in the management. So, however, you have the authority to protect your investment, your money. So usually lenders, they can have more control. Like if you want us to lend you some money, I want you to do this and that and change that. So it's like you, as a lender, you have more power. So you did a bad move, I guess. And what else? That's a great one. Thank you. What else?
You can also take your money, can't you? You're a lender, like you can ask for it.
What would happen if, I have a history in losing, so I lost that company. I meant bad and I lost the money. What would happen for the limited partner?
He just out of his money, but if you're the lender, you get like dibs on the property and everything.
Yeah, if you are a lender, you will go after the owners and their private stuff and everything. You will get your money back.
If you gave them a loan, can you put interest like back when they pay you back, so you can actually make money off of it over time?
As a lender?
Yeah.
Of course, that's why you will get the money. Sorry. What we're saying is that by lending the money, you will protect your investment more. You will protect your money. And for a limited partner, well, you can't do that. Okay, there is one other thing that is one small subpart of the partnership. It's the sub-partnership. And in that, okay, first of all, Blake, Zach, and the 2 chapters. Second, Blake and Zach. 2 more. I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, just to put names into the slides every time. And okay. And Regan, you're here, so I saw you. So, what if? Let's go back to our previous example. What if Austin in our company went and made a deal with a third party in that partnership? It can be a sub-partnership. So, and if he lost just his share and not the whole company. If he did a sub-partnership. Okay, so each co-owner can, as one owner, go and make deals with third parties, and he can sign a sub-partnership with them, and it will be like his own liability. Like he will be controlling his 30% or 20%, and if he lost or he did whatever, it will be taken out of his share and not everyone else's in the company. So this is the main difference. So and the sub-partner, of course, like Regan here, can't, she's not a member in the firm. She has no active function in our, like our store, our company. And she's not liable for the creditors of our company. So her relationship is just with Austin. That's it. Corporations. Who can name a corporation? Uber, Apple, Walmart, Facebook, Walmart.
Facebook.
Yeah, Best Buy. All of those are big corporations. So, so who can tell me how many owners are for just one corporation? A lot.
There can be only one person in a corporation as long as you literally elect yourself for all the positions and keep track of that. Have meetings with yourself.
Yeah, but why would you do that? No, seriously, why?
You can. It's possible.
Why would you do that? It's like opening a store.
Oh, it's for entity status and tax.
So
You can do that.
what is the one major drawback of corporations?
More people trying to.
No, let's talk about double tax. You're double taxed. Let's imagine that you did that corporation, the one that you are talking about. Like you elected yourself to all the positions, and you'll be taxed twice. So whatever profits that corporation made, it will go through a tax corporation, because once you have your corporation, it will have its own tax ID. You'll be taxed for that. And let's imagine that you gained that, the shares or like the profits or like salary. You will be taxed again on it as an income tax from the IRS. However, so there is a downside, that this is the tax thing, but at the same time there is a good side for it. We'll talk about it. So, corporation is a separate legal entity, similar to an artificial person. Has its own tax ID, or it will be a separate entity, separate than the people that are participating. So, if you own some shares in Facebook, for example, and someone sues Facebook, are you liable? Are you going to go to jail or something? No, nothing will happen to you. He's suing Facebook, not you. However, this is not the case with partnerships, the general partnerships or the sole ownership. So, who can read the two main characteristics of the corporation? I'm sorry. Yeah, who can read them loud? Read them loud. Yeah. The two, first two.
Protects our stockholders and firm, and so
So it protects the stakeholder. Like if you have some shares in one company or corporation, they can't come against you. They go against the corporation if you did something in the name of the corporation. And the second one, it's owned by more than one individual. You have to elect a board to run that corporation. So you can own shares in a corporation and at the same time not work in that corporation. Or not, you don't have part in running the things. So who owns shares of anything in the stock market? Anyone can, yeah, it's easy. But at the same time, you don't go and make sure that everything runs. Like I remember maybe 3 years ago, they opened Facebook for they opened the shares for the public to buy some shares of Facebook, and many people they understand nothing about the IT, like websites, right? And they just went and bought shares, so they are owners of Facebook, but at the same time, they are not participating in managing it. So I also want you to know that the privileges and the duties that a corporation can do, they're listed, and Milan here can help me saying one of them. Yeah. So they do business, they own and convey the properties, they just like a person, they can go in contract. Like you can go and sign a contract by the name of the corporation. They can be sued. They can sue someone in the name of corporation. So the limits of the risk in the corporation, they're just, you own like 1% of that corporation, you might lose that 1%. This is your share of risk. It's not. So you lower the risk if you enter a corporation. It's not like being in a partnership. So let's assume that James here, he owns some shares in that company, and then he decided that, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this business anymore. What can he do? He can just go and sell that share to someone else. And in a corporation, like it won't really affect the way the business is done, because he's not participating in management or doing anything. He's selling the ownership. He's transferring the ownership, and it doesn't really matter who owns the stocks once the management team is the same. So in construction companies, what do they usually do? Have you ever heard of an employee-owned company or corporation? Did you hear that? Okay, we can't really have a construction company that is employee-owned. They do that in construction.
NDR.
NDR. I don't know. I know one company. It's called Holder Construction, where you go and you. Once you sign the contract with them, they will tell you, well, after 2 years, we'll start, owning like 3%, or like, I don't know, they will give you some shares. So you start working for yourself, that kind of thing. So you're working in the company and you own a share of that company, which is, I think it's awesome. At the end of the day, you get your salary and you get out of the, out of the profits that comes every year. So if you guys can work for one of those companies, it's really good. And of course, you can buy more into the shares once you have more money. Then we have a special type of corporation. It's called the S corporation. So before going to the S corporation, let's just say it one more time that the one downside with a corporation is that you will be taxed twice. So a corporation will make a profit, and since it's its own legal entity, it has its own something called like a social security number. It has its own number with the IRS. It will be taxed on that profit, and once they distribute those profits after being taxed to their shareholders or stakeholders, they will become income for you, new income, and you will be taxed again as an income tax for you. So that's one downside, that people don't actually like to be in corporations. Like, you don't want to pay like 50%, which is taxes. And you pay the corporation rate at the profits, and then the individual rate at the second one. So the S corporation, what is the main reason that people go and make an S corporation? What? Yeah, yeah, you don't get double tax in that. It's corporation. It has the same privileges, but you don't get double tax. But it has some, like, it should fit some like certain criteria. And I listed those for you. Not more than 35 shareholders. You should be a U.S. citizen, state, or entity. Also, should be just individuals. So in a corporation, you can have a company own some shares. So it's not just individuals. In this corporation, it should be individuals. You can't have a company on a corporation. And only one class of stock. That's it for the S corporation. We have also another type, the limited liability corporation, or limited liability company, LLC. So, but also you don't get double tax, and it has no citizenship requirement. Can be one does that. It has its own legal entity, and it's like the thing that the book list, and that it's rapidly growing. It's new, and it can include corporations and partnerships. So for those types, I just want you to know the names. I don't really expect you to dig deep into it. You just know the introduction, just what it is. You heard about it. So we have a joint venture. So dear Chance can tell us about it.
Joint venture is pretty much where you have, like, if you're building something and you're going to do a design build, you have an architecture firm and a construction firm, and they go in together, they split the liability of the project, split the money, the cost of it, and they go in together and work on it as one entity.
Exactly. For that specific project, that's it. So let's imagine that there is a new a design build project, and your firm is just design. You have never had any construction engineering in your firm. You know how to design it, but you don't really know how to build it. So you go and you make a joint venture. You go to a firm that is owned by someone else who is a construction engineer, like our friend Colin here. He owns a construction firm. It's really good. And you go and you tell him, well, there is this project. Let's go and try to take that job. Me and you, we can come together, form a joint venture, call it the Innovative Design Builders, and just bid on it. And with your expertise, my expertise, your assets, my assets, we can take the job and we can share the profit. So you sign that agreement, and you just, for that specific project, you are a joint venture. Anything outside that project, you are a separate entity. And it's very popular in the construction industry, especially for design build. And the joint venture, so simple definition: partnership for a specific purpose. That's it, or special purpose. It can be to corporations, to partnerships, to proprietorships, and yeah, I know. Or any combination. So, like a partnership with a corporation, they can make a joint venture. So, why do people? I listed those here. I also want someone on YouTube to read it for me. I will go with Tyler in the back. Why do we go and make a joint venture? We said it, like maybe we can, we want to bid or we want to enter a project that's out of our area of expertise. We want help with that. We, the size of our firm can't take that job. So it will give us an opportunity to get a larger job, a more complex job. All right, so they come with benefits. Joint venture, so increase the assets, you increase the capital that you own. You'll have more equipment. So it's the same as, let's imagine that I'm giving you a test, and I told you that instead of each one of you is gonna solve that test, two of you are gonna share that test. So instead of you studying the whole 10 chapters for the exam or the test, you'll just study 5, and your friend will study 5, and you can share the information. So you want to do that? Okay, let's take a vote. Who wants to share that exam?
I should share an exam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who wants to share the exam?
I'm sure 10 ways.
I'm not going to share the exam. No, I'm just going to take the votes and see. So you can share experiences, and maybe the last one. Who reads the last one? What's your name? Well, read the last one.
One company to penetrate the market.
Okay, what did you get from that? Like, tell me what did you understood? If a company wants to penetrate another market.
The company that it's working with, they can learn from the
they can learn from the other companies. So let's assume that you've never in your firm built a hospital. You know, hospitals are complex and they are hard to build. So if you don't have that experience in building hospitals, you need to work with someone with that experience to do that. So the easiest way or the safest way is to make a joint venture with another firm that is specialized in building hospitals, and you can offer something else with that firm, and then you learn from that bigger firm. And that's it for today. I will be posting a homework for you about this subject this afternoon. So the class activities, they are for you. So you study for the exam, and you don't have to return them.